Shucks, congratulations to Samsung White, closing the game out 3-1 rather at the end of the game. I think Samsung White, they played very aggressively. They got a lead very early on. Before we talk about some of that, let's pull up the replay of that pentakill very quickly. And if I can just get everybody on the desk to sort of chime in on how this was set up and really just how well Samsung White team fought. It's something they did the entire game. Roll the clip out, Crepo. Let me know.
Yeah, prior to this fight, it was just the combination of those wind balls is just always really good from White. But he gets caught here, but the follow-up immediately to KO ulti, and then just how this plays out is just so good.
Dandy is so good. He kicked Wall Turtle out so he does almost 0 damage right off the bat. It's just ridiculous.
Well, just the walls were protecting Imp there for so long as well. He got a multi-man spray and pray basically
Tornado over the wall.
I mean, just insane.
Okay, but look what Danny does next. This is crazy. Like,
well, he misses E2. He misses E2, so clearly a huge misplay. Korean suck.
Wait, he missed the second E?
Yeah, there's no slow.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Out of range.
He walked out of range.
It's a bait, dude. He got the minions to block. He flashes the...
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Is this guy human?
Yeah, of course he is.
I guess
that's
so.
all predictions.
It didn't show. Second pentakill for Imp in the World Championship. I think if we summarize the game, Samsung White, they developed a big lead early on. Team Solomid took advantage of openings when Samsung were pushing the map, and they managed to stall the game out. And unfortunately, they couldn't do that over and over again to claw back the lead.
Well, I thought it was very impressive. TSM really did out-rotate White in the mid-game there, and you can see that sometimes White is a little hesitant on their decision-making, and this is a lot of the reason why Blue has won in the series against them. You can see that there are some weaknesses here.
I actually was a huge fan of how TSM played the early game. They tried so hard to make early plays. The very first item bought by Let's Boy was Boots of Mobility. They spent 2,100 gold on wards before they even bought a Sight Stone in the first 15 minutes. They tried so hard to set up early game plays from TSM, but Samsung White completely outplayed them. They played only on the strong side of the map. They warded it heavily, so their dives were very much free, no chance of counter-gank. Samsung White played the first 50 minutes even better than TSM, despite actually spending less on vision.
If only, though, TSM got that free Baron they had. They had everything lined up for it. Mid was pushing in. White was finally realizing they had to back to... Somebody had to defend the Nexus. They were all basic, and TSM just got a little scared. But I could have broken up the series.
I have to say, TSM really blew all of our expectations out of the water. I mean, like, this is not a loss for NA. If you're an NA fanboy, you should be really happy. They murdered the favorites to win the entire tournament in Game 3, and they tooled them around the map in Game 4. I think TSM put up a pretty good fight, way better than we expected.
I agree, and it's really for Game 4 that I think that their strengths shown. I mean, for me, Game 3 was Samsung White, not a fluke, but Samsung White was not playing 100%. But I think in Game 4, you can look at that game and say it was close. I mean, they did a good job of getting that inhibitor. They did a good job of playing objectives on the map, and I think that was the most impressive game from TSM for me.
I completely agree with that. It showed an understanding of playing the map. Final thoughts, Double F, before we move on.
Yeah, I was just about to say, they had an opportunity actually to take 2 inhibitors at a certain point, but they kind of dropped the ball on that one. That's all I was going to say.
Big misplay at the end. That was the final nail in the coffin. Guys, we now know one of the teams who will be headed to Seoul for the semi-finals. So let's take a look at that bracket. Samsung White, 3-1 over Team Solomid. They will be facing either their sister team Samsung Blue or Cloud9. That will be determined tomorrow. And obviously, 2 more quarterfinals following over the course of the weekend. Very quickly, guys, it is the expected result after seeing how well TSM played against White. I think let's just get some quick thoughts about Cloud9 tomorrow against Samsung Blue. I mean, Cloud9 looked better than TSM in all of their group stage games. We sort of assumed they're a smarter team. Freak, is that fair to say or not?
I am definitely excited for the Cloud9 Samsung Blue matchup. White looked better than Blue, Cloud9 looked better than TSM. If you consider that that keeps happening, maybe not, then you have a very, very close series.
The thing about Blue, though, which surprised me in the group stage, before this I had never really seen them get cocky in a game. I think they did show some more of that cockiness in groups while White dialed it back. However, I think Blue got the wake-up call. I do expect Cloud9 to take a game tomorrow, but I think Blue is a much more patient team than White. They're not going to be making these same kind of pick-and-ban mistakes.
I think the Samsung head coach is going to have a talk about being overzealous with his team for sure, and that hopefully that same mistake won't happen again. But even then, I think just based on what can happen in the game, Cloud9 definitely has a chance to win a game, but overall, favorite for the series is still going to be Blue. There's no reason to doubt that anymore.
Well, nodding heads